Just checking my email real quick. See if anything important is happening. And by important, I mean sales. More coffee. Oh, so good. Hey everybody, it's Haley and welcome to my channel, Haley Just Call Me Fire. I'm so happy that you're here, whether it's your first video or your second, third, or fourth. Welcome back. Today I'm really excited to be sharing with you just a little bit about my dance journey. I would love to start introducing that aspect of my life that's so important to me onto my channel. So today is kind of a really exciting new beginning for me to share my story with you. I'm getting really comfortable just sitting on the floor with you guys, just having a casual conversation about this. So if you would like to see this video and see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, pretty please. And also don't forget to like this video if you want to see more of my dance journey and more just behind the scenes professional dance life. I guess we should just get into the video. I keep looking over here because Mr. Chester is there. Say hello, Mr. Chester. He's just looking at me like, who are you talking to? You're talking to literally no one. All right, let's get into it. Okay, wow. I guess I should start that I started dancing when I was 4 years old. A lot of dancers have like a very monumental memory of when they first started dancing, their first dance class and all of that, like really just like nostalgic stuff. And for me, I don't necessarily have that. I don't remember like my first dance class ever, and it doesn't upset me because like I'm still dancing, so but I think that one of the biggest things is like my parents probably just saw that I was like always moving and always wanting to do stuff and like perform for everyone. I really started training as a ballet dancer. I started in ballet conservatories and really just was on that path to just being a professional ballet dancer. When I was probably like 8 or 9, I was in a pre-professional program, and at 10 years old I got on pointe. Yes, it's like when you dance on your toes. For my fellow dancers out there, that you guys know that that's like a really big deal. That means that your muscles are strong enough and your bones are kind of prepared enough to handle that kind of stress on your body, and also that means like you have enough control in your body to kind of take on that next level of training. And so that was a really big deal for me. April 26th, when I was 10 years old, I kind of like have an anniversary about it like every year. I don't like celebrate it or like have a cake or anything, but I just acknowledge it. Around the same age, I also got seriously injured. I strained both of my psoas muscles, which are the major hip flexors in the body. Basically, my body was just pushed to the limit, to the point where I couldn't even lift either of my legs getting in and out of the car. And so I was in physical therapy. It was a really long road to recovery because I also continued dancing throughout this injury process. And a lot of dancers do the same because there's kind of no other choice. I was very adamant, and my mom stood up for me in that instance where like I can't just like sit and watch class every day. So I would go to physical therapy, and I would continue to do ballet class but modify things as I needed to without pain. Okay, so wow, that was a lot about like 10 years old. Around 11, I switched studios to another ballet conservatory, and I actually started experiencing a little bit of different styles of dance. At about 12, I started competing in Youth America Grand Prix, and the first competition I did was a group piece, and our piece and our choreography was good enough and qualified to make it to the finals in New York City, which for my ballet people out there, you all know like how big of a deal that is. The finals in New York, that's an international stage, so there's like people from all over the world, just like amazing, beautiful dancers. It was very transformative for me. And after that, I decided to continue to compete in YAGP as a soloist for 2 more years, and that was definitely an experience. I kind of have this like perspective now that I've stepped away from that realm. It's a very intense situation, but you know what? It's something that I really did want, and I wanted to put my full body, my full heart into this because I didn't want to look like a fool and like an imposter of like, oh, who's that girl trying to do ballet on stage, but I really just wanted to show what I really could do. Yeah, that was that. And then in high school, I guess I was about 14 or so, I joined the high school dance team. And I was super nervous because a lot of my peers who I grew up with, a lot of them were on the competition dance kind of side of the industry. And I was not. I was like straight up ballet, like give me a plie, arabesque, pirouette, we good. But illusion, Alice Cone turns, and jazz walks, I was like, what is that? You know, so it was so new to me, but I was really grateful. I made the team. I immediately was just very intimidated. All of these beautiful dancers were at a really high caliber, and I was not sure if I was going to like fit into the way that they moved, but I did. I surprised myself. We did hip hop when I was like, wait, I'm kind of good at this. It's weird because I'd just done ballet my whole life, but that was a really great introduction to kind of seeing that I'm able to do more than just ballet, and the way I felt doing these other styles was a little bit of freedom. I was very intrigued. That summer I was actually presented with 2 options for summer intensive programs. So one was that I got accepted into the American Ballet Theater New York intensive, which at the time was like basically the highest you could go, and it was a huge honor for me because at this point in my life I would have wanted to like get into that program. So I was stoked. And then the other program I got accepted to was for the Debbie Allen Dance Academy in Los Angeles. And at first I was like, wow, I feel like this decision is kind of a big one because at this point I was 16 years old, and following year I would be applying to universities and dance programs, and so I really had to make a choice that was bigger than what I initially anticipated. It was more than just like a summer intensive at this point. It was like career based, and at 16 a lot of dancers kind of have to make those choices. So I basically had to decide between doing ballet for the rest of my life or doing ballet and being just a really well-versed dancer. And so I chose being a really well-versed dancer. I went to Debbie Allen Dance Academy in LA for this summer intensive in 2016. I had just a wonderful experience, and not only was I trained in the best of the best in so many different styles of dance, but I got a great ballet education as well, which made me really happy because that's such a big part of my life still. At the end of the intensive, I went up to speak with Miss Allen just to really thank her for letting me be a part of the experience, and she had asked me if I wanted to stay for the following academic year. And at the time, like really before the intensive, I was still at the ballet conservatories, training, doing nutcrackers, all the things, being offered an opportunity to continue my training with her and her faculty was a really big deal. This was really like the break from like the ballet world. But it wasn't really a decision just for me. It was a decision my family kind of had to make together because I lived in Orange County and her studio was deep in the heart of LA. That's a really big sacrifice my parents had to make, my family had to make, and they made it. They realized, that this is a really big opportunity, and so they let me go to Dada for 2 years. I was there for 2 years with just so many amazing opportunities that I would never have gotten anywhere else. Just performance opportunities, being able to work with specific artists, and just meet incredible people. It was amazing. So I definitely made the right choice. Then I was applying to college. I decided that I really wanted to take this further, and I also wanted to get a really amazing education. Education was always really big for me. At the time of applying, I had a really bad injury. I had a stress fracture in my tibia, or my shin. I was on crutches for about 3 months, and I was in a boot for 6 months, which meant that I couldn't really dance. But I was in a boot during the time where all of the university auditions were happening. So I kind of had a conversation with my physical therapist that like this was my only option. I had to take the boot off, do the audition, be in pain, and suffer after the audition if it meant that I could do it well and then hopefully get accepted for my future, because this is really what it was planning for. You know, I didn't want this injury to hold me back from getting into a really amazing university. So that's what I did. Physical therapist didn't necessarily approve, but he understood how important this was to me. He was like, you know, do what you want. I then was debating between two very different schools. There was a point where I had to ask the question of what is really important to me in going to a school, and that was having a very well-rounded experience. I was very interested in the human body and the healing of it, and injury prevention and rehabilitation, especially for dancers, because I had my own set of problems. Started learning a lot and found that I had a passion for it, so I wanted that to be an option as another area of study. And at, I guess I'll call it School B, there was not an opportunity for me to double major in this other field. It was pretty much like you're going to go for dance and that's it, which I appreciated. But I was like, if I'm already at school, like I might as well just like do what I love. And what I loved was doing dance, studying dance, and also studying the human body and kinesiology and all the things I already talked about. I decided to commit to Loyola Marymount University. I just loved every minute of it. I didn't have to give up excellent training in my dance career. I didn't have to give up my interest and like introduction into science and that field. It really was like the best decision I could have made by being able to do both things. And that's what I've done my whole life, is just do all the things at once. Dance being so prevalent and like education being so prevalent for me, it made sense for me to like do both in college. So I did, and I graduated with 2 degrees in 2018 from LMU, and after that I was really focused on just dance. After I graduated, I spent some time. I spent about a year trying to make connections within the industry and within different agencies as well. So I finally got signed with a really great agency that I'm very happy to be a part of. They're really on my side, and I didn't think I would find that in the industry or with an agent or an agency. They really have my back and love to communicate, and that's like one of my biggest things. So, wow. I feel like I missed like a couple of things, but I feel like I also like rambled on so many other things. Yeah, that's it pretty much. I didn't want to get too into my professional career yet. That'll be like a separate situation. But I just wanted to introduce you guys to kind of what I've been doing the last 20 years of my life. Honestly, it was really fun for me to sit down and like share this with you guys, because I feel like I do it often, but I don't necessarily get the chance to do it in great detail. This was fun to reflect on. Anyways, I'm really thankful that you stuck around and wanted to hear what I had to say about my dance career, my dance journey, and I'm really excited to share more about this huge aspect of my life. If you want to see that and you want to stick around for more of that kind of stuff, please don't forget to subscribe. I love sharing this information with you, and the more that you are able to subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff, the more that I know that you are wanting to see this part of my life. You know, if you don't, that's okay, but like if you do, like let me know. Hit the subscribe button down there. I guess I'll see you guys next time. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.